harmony, and quit. Quit. Awesome, friends. Before we do story time, I want you to put on some observation goggles. I also want you to put on your imagination cap. Because when we listen to our story in story time, there are no pictures. We have to make the pictures in our brain. So I'm going to show you the words in our story, and you have to use the words and listen so closely to make the picture in your brain. So today, we are reading the story called Codfish. A codfish is a type of fish. And here it is. So I am going to read the story to you. And I want you to picture the story in your brain. And while you're reading, I want you to think. Who are the characters in the story? I say, then you say, characters, characters. Those are the people or the animals in the story. And then we'll fill it in. Then we're going to think about the setting. Say, setting, setting. That's where the story takes place. Last one. Excellent tracking, Kiara. Excellent tracking, Aiden. Aiden, I'm just so impressed with your tracking during Fundations. Keep it up, my friend. Nice job, Yannibel. Then we'll think about the events. Say events. Events. That's what we thought about a lot in the little red pen. The things that happen in this story. All right, warm up those listening ears. Isabella, Kiara, they're there with me. Make sure that your imagination cap is on nice and tight. While I'm reading, think, who's in this story? Where are they? And what's happening? Nosani, you can pause your pencil. Thanks, girl. Great first time listening. Track as I read and make sure you pay attention to the characters, the setting, and then what happens. Notice how I'm going to read so smooth. We don't read like robots. Jack had a net to get a codfish for Jed the cat. Jack sat on a rock with his net. Jed sat on a log. Jack had the luck. He was quick with the net. He got the codfish. Jed had a dish of fish. Yum. I'm going to read it one more time. Think, who are the characters in this story? And where are they? And what are they doing? Raquel and Asani are tracking. So much respect and engagement. So is Michaela and Isabella, Kiara, Aiden. Harmony, great connection. Yannibel, Noah, Red, excellent tracking. Terry, excellent tracking. I'm going to read it one more time. Jack had a net to get a codfish for Jed the cat. Cat's name is Jed. Jack sat on a rock with his net. Jed sat on a log. Jack had the luck. He was quick with the net. He got the codfish. Jed had a dish of fish. Yum. All right. Who are the characters in this story? Who are the characters in this story? Tell me one character. One character, Valentina. One person who was in this story.
Yeah.
Jack, right? The boy, or maybe he's a man, not sure. Jack. Jack was one of the characters in the story. There was one other character in the story. There was one other character in the story. Grace, who was the other character in the story?
Jed.
Jed. And who was Jed, Grace? Jed was
The cat.
he was the cat. So see how I'm drawing a little person for Jack? Jed was his cat. So I might draw a little picture of a cat. I'm not trying to be an artist like with Mr. Waxman, but it just helps me because that's what my brain saw when I was reading this story. I saw these characters. There's the cat. Long tail. All right. So now that we know our characters were Jack and Jed, what was the setting? Where were Jack and Jed in this story? They didn't really tell us, but we can make a guess. We can make something called an inference. Where were they? Where were Jack and Jed? Where were Jack and Jed? Jack and Jed. Sounds like other names. Nasani, pause your pencil, sweetie. Rakeel, come body. Jack and Jed were where, Jaden? All these J names.
They were at the forest because the forest got a ton of logs and a ton of rocks.
Okay, so Jaden thinks that they're at the forest because there are rocks and logs in the forest. And in this story, they talked about rocks and logs. Show me what you think about what Jaden said. Do you agree, disagree, or do you want to add on what he said? Oh, I'm seeing some agreeing from friends like Nicholas. I'm also seeing some friends that are respectfully disagreeing. Nasani, Grace, Isabella. Let me see. Isabella, where do you think they were? What do you think the setting was?
I think they're in the at the river.
The what?
The river because the river has water.
And how do you know that there's water in this story?
Because I heard the word say water.
I don't know if the word water is there, but they're fishing, so they probably need to be near water. So, Jaden, I agree there were rocks and logs in the story, and forests have those, but they also went fishing. So they probably were maybe, I see Michaela's agreeing, they might be near a river, or what I was thinking was something like a pond. So hang on 1 second, because remember, sometimes I can't see everybody. So if you have a question, raise your hand so that I can make sure to give you my full attention. A pond. So I'm going to draw like some water. And I'll draw the logs and the rocks that Jaden was talking about. Because you can find rocks and logs near a pond, and sometimes there are even ponds in a forest. All right, Nicholas, go ahead. Thank you for being patient.
If he has a cat and they're fishing, don't like water.
Do you think that they have